In this episode, Stu has an absolutely disastrous breakfast. I end up gagging. We try out another Aire park-up. I work out at an outside gym. Stu demonstrates being an idiot, which he does quite well. He goes fishing, but did he catch any fish? And what did he think about his Italian meal? Welcome to Getaway Geese. We are Stu and Jane, and with Harry, our Ford custom auto camper, we share our adventures. So join us in this, our rough guide series to campervanning in Ireland.
Tea to get us going. Saturday today. Had to chuck up the front passenger side last night. We were just slightly on the slant. It just made a slight difference. They're only small ramps, but they do make a slight difference for us at times. So we're just coming up to the end of our second week, I guess. It's been really easy. Again, another nice park up. We toed and froed a bit with the park up last night. We came here originally, and then we tried a park up that was further down the coast. It was on the beach. It was a really nice place actually, right, nice location on the beach. And I didn't spot any signs. Then Jane had a little walk around, and it wasn't on the main sign, it was on like a community sign, and it said no camping, so did the right thing, came away, and we actually just came back here. And it was perfect really. I think there was one car late last night, came and went. So no disturbed sleep. Had some food. Had a game of rummy Cobh, where I'm losing badly. I think I'm now about 9-1 down. The cows are all greeting me in the morning. I think they think I've got something for them. There's all the seaweed, just bags of seaweed backed up. I don't know whether they come and drag that off or not, because it's obviously on top of the beach there, stopping anybody getting to the beach. I think Jane can smell that there, which is probably decaying. Seaweed, I'm sure she's right. A large grey heron there. So my back's a lot better than it was, I'll be honest with you. I still can't walk too far. I was amazed I did the walk at the waterfall and the scramble up the hill. I didn't really suffer from that day, though it's come back a bit in the last few days. So one thing the Karcher does do is he takes the moisture out of the van basically, so that's a good thing.
Oh, I can see it. Where the birds are flying.
Yeah, there's a head. It's just gone under now.
Yeah, I see. So while I go off to investigate the seaweed, Stu cooks an omelette. Now he's never cooked one before, but omelettes are easy, aren't they? So what could possibly go wrong? But it does indeed go wrong, as he adds the ingredients uncooked.
I've never made an omelette before, as you can see. A disaster. Jane's going to come in and scream.
But then for some unexplained reason, he adds another egg, as if that's going to rectify the situation.
I've got...
Stu's, I've just come back because Stu's...
I've never made an omelette.
I'm doing something educational by finding out about the seaweed.
I'm doing something educational. I'm learning to teach myself how to cook.
Stu's never made an omelette, and he's literally just put the ingredients in with the egg without cooking them first. You're going to have one hell of a crunchy omelette. I'm recording this for the kids.
Oh, that's it.
So what's the end result? Do you recommend it?
The end result is that the peppers and the mush and the onion are a little on the firm side. To be perfectly honest. And it won't be repeated, other than in about an hour's time.
Not for the right reasons.
Not for the right reasons. So we've just left Bally Branagan beach.
Yeah.
And you've unearthed the reason behind the sea, or the story behind the seaweed.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Unearthed.
Yeah.
So I went down this morning because we saw 2 dog walkers, and we're just like, there's no way they're going to get on the beach, but they did. So I had to walk round, and they would have had to have gone through the rocks and a bit of seaweed. But the smell, I can't tell you, it's just overpowering, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was heaving.
Yeah.
Oh God. And so I just saw a chap that he was replacing the lifeboat. What they called? The lifebuoys, sorry.
Yeah.
And he was just saying that it gets like this sort of 2 or 3 times a year, and all of a sudden it'll just be washed out by the sea.
A high tide will probably take it away, I guess. Yeah.
So, but every so often there must be a high tide. At certain times of the year I think that they get this seaweed, but he said it can get up to 6 feet tall.
I can't imagine 6 feet of seaweed.
I can't imagine what that smells like. So today we're heading towards Cork to a popular Aire that Stu wants to try out, and it's only 20 miles away, and the weather looks really good. So we've just pulled up. It's really warm, isn't it, Stu?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. That's what you do when I'm trying to talk to the camera. Yeah, we pulled up. It's called 5 Foot Way.
5 Foot Way car park. Cobh.
Yeah, it's Cobh. We've been calling it Cobh. Which meant to listen to Stu say it is
C-O-B-H.
Yeah, so apparently it's called Cobh. I've listened to 3 or 4 pronunciations on YouTube, and I did hear a guy say actually it was Cobh.
It was French.
And it's got 30 spots. It's €10 a night. I don't know what facilities it's got.
You can stay maximum 48 hours. There's the usual black waste, water, recycling. There's actually a portaloo down there as well. I'm not allowed to use it, but there's a portaloo there. Lots of litter bins, lovely walk along the front.
Which we're going to go on now.
But the pay and display is not working this morning.
Oh, that stressed you out.
It says use another machine.
Are we going to have lunch first? Because not all of us had a big omelette.
You have a lunch. I don't want to talk about food.
Stu doesn't want to talk about food since he had that omelette.
I'm still
processing.
I'm still repeating on what I had this morning.
It has repeated. That's really sweet. They've got the kids litter picking. Bless them. So just by the Aire they have this outdoor gym, which I think's really great, and above all it's free. There's a great walkway that goes all along the seafront heading towards the town of Cobh and the Heritage Centre. I guess that's the Irish Navy moored up. This is the Annie Moore Memorial, and it's in tribute to her because she was the first immigrant that was processed at Ellis Island in America. The Cobh Heritage Centre is in this fine restored Victorian railway station. And we learn of the 3 names that the town of Cobh had.
Okay, so in 1850 Cobh became Queenstown in honour of Queen Victoria. And then it was reverted in 1921 to the current Cobh, C-O-B-H. So the museum is set up so you go around in the various eras. So this is the 1600s and 1700s.
I take a lot of pictures in museums because Stu is Billy Whiz.
Fast.
And so I like to read the history of everything, so I take pictures, and then when I leave the museum I can read all about it because Stu's like
I've got the attention span of a gnat. So Anne Bonny of Kinsale was a pirate in the 1700s. She sailed out of Cork to the Carolinas. She had red hair and was known to have a fiery temper.
The museum is really well laid out and the digital displays are excellent.
So this model of the Survey was constructed for the 1992 film Far and Away with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
And both of us really like the sculptures that they've got throughout. Cobh was a pivotal staging point for generations leaving Ireland. Whether that was forced convicts to Australia following a failed rebellion in 1798 or due to the Great Famine in the 1800s. The museum tells a story really well, and it makes you realise just how hard life was, and also how Cobh was weaved into the story. Many lost their lives on the journey. So it says here that the convicts were often confined in a space that was so airless that even candles could not burn, and that much of the ship's storage was filled with rum, which the captain planned to sell privately in Sydney. And that's the voyage of the Atlantis. In 1801, 153 men and 28 women, and when it got to Sydney 7 months later, 70 of the prisoners had died. We just realised.
Bloody hell. I've been walking around here thinking it's really dark. I just realised I've got my ruddy sunglasses on.
I only just realised you did. It's only because it's just gone dark. And this is detailing the Sirius, the first ship to cross the Atlantic entirely under steam power. And that was at the lighthouse we were at the other day. It was shipwrecked, and that's why eventually that lighthouse was built. It left Cork Harbour in 1938 and reached New York 18 days later.
Have your real tickets ready, please?
As we move through the decades, we start to hear more stories about the sea. And notably, the most famous, the Titanic. Neither Stu or myself realised that Cobh was the last port of call before it sank, and it picked up many Irish passengers on the 11th of April 1912. This picture was taken in the harbour.
So these are the names of the local people that boarded the Titanic. The Cobh here, most of whom were lost. So that's a tribute to the 123 people. This was all one family. Where they do some of the exhibitions here, so they've got the statue here with a picture backdrop, gives a great 3D image to it, so it's really well done.
The museum connects you well to the people that were caught up in the tragedy. And this is the Rice family that we saw listed earlier. And they appear amongst a long list of people that lost their lives that tragic night. You don't appreciate the problems they had, because the early list of those on board contained errors by spelling mistakes, cancellations, late bookings and passengers or crew who failed to board. Another problem was people not travelling under their own name. The Lusitania tragedy is also told as that was sunk by a German U-boat in the First World War, 11 miles off Kinsale in May 1915. Sadly, 1,193 were killed, 764 survived, with survivors and the dead being brought ashore to Ireland. Well, I thought we ought to have something Irish in the van.
I've got a flag.
Well, you have got a flag, this is true.
I've got a great flag.
For your port?
That's a good slug of port.
Yeah, I know.
So we've just come out of the Cobh Heritage Centre. I thought it was fantastic.
It was really good, yeah.
Really good.
It was nice and simple for Stu because he doesn't like
pictures.
He doesn't like pictures, but he doesn't like a load of facts because it puts him off and he ends up just whizzing through it so quick, don't you?
I really like the feel of where we're at,
lovely.
actually.
Yeah, we're going to stop here another day, aren't we?
There's a train station just over the back of where we're parked in the motorhome that you can actually just go into Cork. So it's really, and they go every, was it half hours or something
every
like that?
25 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same on Sundays and that, but it's and there's quite a few bars and pubs, restaurants that way, which we haven't gone down to.
It's getting better.
Yeah. Plenty of people coming out fishing there. Must be on the high tide, I think.
You going to give it a go?
I mind it. So I'm just going to go and do a bit of fishing. I see there's a few fishermen out, so it's obviously a place to catch stuff. So just an hour on my own. Got my fishing rod. It's a great place to fish as well, as there's so much to see in the background.
I've just been reading my book, but the sun's gone in, so I am just going to have a walk to see if Stu's caught anything. I'll be fairly gobsmacked if he has, to be honest, with his track record. So I haven't come across him yet, which means he's either fell in or he is he's hidden himself from the general public. Oh. Hello. And here he is, hiding. So have you caught anything?
No, but I've had several bites, I think.
So no, you can actually feel them biting.
Yeah.
That's what somebody else said, didn't they?
Yeah.
They could feel them biting, yeah. Have you enjoyed it though?
Enjoyed being out, isn't it?
Yes. You think he's got one? This will be the first ever, well, not his first ever fish, but the first one since he's taken up fishing again. Oh my God, he has got one. Oh, what are you going to do with it?
You want to have a look at it before I put it back in? Before I put it back in. See him?
It's the first one he's ever caught. He's very pleased with himself. And 10 minutes later, he's still smiling.
That's it. I don't have to catch another one then. I've proved I can do it. Okay, so my assistant tonight has just revealed that we're going to have leftover meals from the last couple of days. We got curry that's 2 days old, so that might kill me, and pasta from last night. So
it
James
looks like
going to
it's
have
got
that.
no sauce left, so that'll probably kill me.
So we're making the most of 2 meals, so just a bit of warming through, and that's all we're having. And then we're going to eat out of the saucepans because
We can.
we can. So that's mine. I'm having the curry.
And this is mine. I'm having the pasta.
So we're in an Italian-Indian restaurant at the moment
Yeah,
where they haven't got any plates.
less washing up. We've never done this. We'd like to point out we've never done this before.
I'm using fajitas bread. to mop
Stu
up
packed 3 boxes of fajitas that have just done nothing but keep falling out the cupboard, yeah, so. That evening, as the sun went down, we just simply watched the boats go by.
I'm just trying to buy the toilets, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We were parked next to 2 local vans who actually only lived up the road, and they'd come down to spend the weekend together, and we had a great time chatting to them. They sat out to the early hours, but way past our bedtime.
That's a nice thing about
Yeah, everyone kind of.
Well, the following day we're on the hunt for a place for Sunday lunch. We walk up to the pretty town of Cobh and we just managed to catch the end of a rock band entertaining the crowd. They have a Titanic Experience museum here and it's really busy today. Coaches arriving and leaving, ferrying people to the venue and the bar, of course.
Right, we've just come out for Sunday lunch, so we found this nice little bar in Cobh Harbour area. So we just had tagliatelle, seafood tagliatelle, and James had, what have you had? Chicken burger. Oh man, that's great. That's really good. It's my chance to have seafood, with Jane being allergic to anything related to the sea, including my fishing yesterday when I caught the mackerel. I had to have a scrub down before I got back in the van.
Scrubbing with bleach.
Jane was asked if she wanted sweet. I was still making my mind up and I decided I didn't want any. She decided she wanted sticky toffee pudding, so she ordered it, but 2 spoons. How rude. It's becoming a competition now.
Who can eat the most quickest?
Faster. So we've just been into Leonardo's Cafe and Bistro over there. Definitely recommended. So if you're in Cobh, the fresh pasta is just superb.
So with this pretty background sound of the church bells, we'll end this episode, and we hope you enjoyed it. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then help us grow the channel by subscribing, liking and commenting. And we'll hopefully see you in the next episode of Our Travels in Harry.